We are back with our final segment. I thought it needed our due attention. Aesthetics. It is a special aesthetics, special to my heart. This might be the first aesthetics I wasn't really excited about because no matter what, I want to talk about all the new uniforms that are coming out. So we've certainly focused on the Nike City Connect uniforms that have come out over the last several years. But there's several uniform changes that were released in the last couple weeks that are surprisingly all extremely underwhelming, or to some degrees. Um, I guess the Yankees announcement was a little bit cooler than the others that we'll discuss with the Nationals and Marlins. But the Yankees announced that they will be removing the white piping from their road uniforms, which you probably never even noticed. They have probably the simplest road uniforms in baseball, just the grays with a block New York across the chest, a little bit of striping, piping on the sleeves. They are removing the white outline from New York across the chest and removing any stripes from the sleeves. There was two blue stripes and a white stripe on their sleeve, on the ends of their sleeves before. What somebody pointed out is, and I didn't notice this at first, they look very plain when you see the renderings. I think you've got the renderings up there.
Yeah,
I
I'm
sent them
looking
to you
at them right
before.
now.
Um, they're very plain, but what they actually recreate is the like 1950s, 1960s glory days uh, road uniforms that the Yankees used to have. The days of Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio. That's pretty much they're going back to what that looks like, which I think is kind of cool. That I mean, as a designer, I've always said, in my aesthetic is always simple is better. Simpler is always better. These are as simple as they get. They're not. They were already had the simplest road uniforms in baseball. Now they're even simpler without any white outlines, any piping whatsoever. So I don't know. What did you think of the Yankees announcement?
I could care fucking less. It's like so lame to me. I get it. I get everything you said, but it's really just it's not even a new uniform. It's like we're going back to old uniform.
if they didn't,
Okay, fucking great. Who
well,
cares?
if they didn't make this announcement, I'm sure people would notice. But I'm not sure you would have noticed, or other than designers like me or uniform honks. I don't think you would have even noticed. So I think it's cool just because it kind of goes back to the throwback flannel uniform era. But yeah, I think you're going to give them two middle fingers down. I'm going to go one middle finger up just for the historic reference, one middle finger down just because they look boring as hell. And like I said, I don't think anyone's going to even notice that they made a change. What do you want to move to next?
Well,
What do you got up
let's
there?
continue on the simpler changes. Let's go to the Marlins, which is essentially the Yankees change.
Except they have no history, and
Except they have no.
this is not a
They,
historic reference.
well,
So
I mean, they won a few World Series in there, right?
no history. I refuse to acknowledge those World Series.
Especially one.
Yeah. So from what I can tell, they changed their word mark on the color of the word mark on their home jerseys.
Correct.
It was a black on black, essentially was what their home jerseys were. They had a kind of a pinkish hue, a magenta, and a cyan blue outline around black lettering on a black
Right.
jersey, which was admittedly difficult to see. And I think they figured out they needed to make the word mark itself white instead of black with the same color outlines.
Yeah.
That seems like an obvious. Seems like that should have always been that way. I'm not sure why they thought black on
Whoop
black would
de
work, but
doo. Whoop de doo is what I say
yeah,
to this one.
yeah. I'm not sure that needed an announcement or a unveiling at their Fish Fest. I don't know what the fuck they call their fan fest for the Marlins. I believe they did introduce a new blue home uniform, or
Mm,
like an alternate uniform that's got the similar white word mark across the front. Um, Great, whatever. I don't. Again, I think this is another example of an update to a uniform that if no one said anything, I'm not sure 95% of the population would even notice anything had changed. So this, since it has no relevance to a gloried
oh,
history.
No,
You got
this
you got more
change.
information there over
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Breaking news?
Actually, this change is only specific to the black jersey. So that
Okay.
one of the other pictures you sent me,
Is
there's
incorrect?
there's the blue jersey, but that blue jersey contains the original black logo.
Okay. All right. Well,
So
now
the
we have now succeeded in the feat that I didn't think was possible. As annoyed and as bored as you were with aesthetics for the majority of its existence, I am now equally bored with this segment.
yeah,
Now that we've gotten to
I'm
the
still, even with that information, I'm going two middle fingers down.
I am going two middle fingers down as well to you
All
fucking
right.
Marlins because you're ruining my own favorite segment, aesthetics. But fortunately, we have a third uniform update to talk
Yes.
about. It's actually two new jerseys for the Washington Nationals. The Nationals released a new road uniform, road
Yes.
grays with block lettering saying Washington, replacing the script
Correct.
Washington they had. I loved the script. The script Washington I thought looked
I
great.
know.
They
I
still have
liked
the
it.
script Nationals as an alternate jersey, but I like I don't like the block lettering for Washington. It's not great. They also introduced a V-neck pullover, white alternate uniform with blue sleeves. It has a different logo. I believe
Yeah.
they've used this logo. I've seen it before, at least. I don't know where they use it. It's got the capital silhouette in the background with a W over the top. That's on
Yep.
the left chest.
It's being used on a jersey for the first time.
Okay, it must have been maybe it was a sleeve patch. I've seen it before, at least, but yeah, on the jersey, who knows? But the idea that it's a pullover, a V-neck pullover, that's kind of a throwback idea to the 70s and 80s. I don't know. Are there any other teams that are doing pullovers?
I don't think so, but I fucking love it. I think
Okay,
this jersey is sharp.
okay, we're back.
Yeah.
Aesthetics is back because you're fired up
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, the arm patch has the DC like
Oh,
interconnected with the
it's
city silhouette on it.
okay. I've got comments about that specifically. They've used that D interconnected D and C logo. They've had it on hats before. I always thought that was super cool. That could have been the
Yeah.
primary hat logo for a long time. It's at least worthy of a sleeve patch. But the shape of Washington D.C. in the background, I had no idea that was the shape of Washington
I
D.C.
know when I look at it, I'm like, oh, what is this?
I am,
Oh, that what a weird it's very blocked. That's
yeah.
what's crazy about it.
As a, I mean,
It
again,
has
my not
three of the points, like three of the sides are just
straight lines.
perfectly straight.
Yeah, it's
I don't think I've
fascinating.
ever seen a state like that.
As a graphic design dork, I also like maps. If we're gonna get as nerdy as we possibly can, cartography is a interest of mine. Somehow it escaped me the shape of Washington D.C. It's just not very famous, so you wouldn't really know what the shape is. But I guess I recognized it. I understood what they were doing with it. I understood that it was the shape of the city or the district itself. So I
District
think
of Columbia.
I think it's pretty cool. I like that part of it too. What were the other they I sent you a thing with a couple details
Well,
about
the other thing
the
was
2
just that it was
jerseys.
the first V-neck pullover Nationals team history.
That's where I'm curious if other teams have done this. I don't remember talking about this. I don't remember seeing it. I'm wondering if this is now the new trend, if this is either the beginning or the start of a new trend where we're gonna start everything retro is cool. Everyone knows that. And the thing we haven't seen a ton of clearly is the retro pullover craze come back to baseball. So if this isn't the first, I wonder if this is the start of a new trend that we're going to start seeing V-necks throughout baseball. So that makes me wonder. Like the Tigers did have some really cool V-necks, pullovers
Yeah.
back in their heyday, really, when they were winning World Series, not just going to World Series. 1984, they had a navy pullover with orange, white, and navy stripes around the cuffs with a big, the old Detroit D, Old English D. That we might be seeing as the Tigers are rumored to be having a Nike City Connect jersey in the next couple of years. Not this year, unfortunately. Did the Sox ever have a
Oh, you,
pullover?
you don't know the pullover
I'm
jersey?
sure we did a whole history of White Sox uniforms for one of
The
the early
pullover
aesthetics.
jersey, the most infamous pullover jersey is the softball jersey that
I
drove
don't
Chris
see,
Sale to chop.
of course, you're right. I think of that as a category unto itself with a collar and it's untucked, it's not cuffed.
Uh,
I think of the pullover as having a like an elastic band at the bottom and around the arms. So yeah, I guess you're right.
I think
Of
they
course,
had a
you're right.
robin egg blue one that was like that.
Okay, it's hard to keep up with the myriad uniforms you've had over
Oh,
the
actually,
years.
the actual SOX, the
That is
83.
yes.
That is the
Okay, so
V-neck
you've been
pullover.
wearing well, yeah, we've been remiss this whole conversation. You
Yeah.
have been wearing the pullovers for several years now. Has this
Yeah,
been your
for
Sunday
Sunday
uniform?
baseball game. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sunday uniforms. Yeah,
So there,
throwback.
so you guys, of course, started this trend,
Of
and
course we did. I
maybe
mean, they are one of the best selling, highest selling SOX socks hat. I mean, they made a fucking
guys,
documentary about it because it's fucking historic. So,
we were
you
gonna
know,
do a whole segment about that documentary. We never did.
well, it's like 22 minutes and not that great, but
No, you watched. I didn't watch all of it, so I was.
yeah.
You and I haven't talked about it. I was thinking that could be next week's aesthetic segment, but sounds like you're not even interested in that.
No, I'd watch it again and talk about it. It's interesting the relation to
All
hip hop.
right.
I'm
All
in
right,
for
we've got homework then. I got to go watch that, and you got to rewatch it, and we've got another aesthetic segment. Hopefully, it'll be more
yeah.
interesting than this one.
Well, I gotta say, I'm you know, here's what I don't mind about the Washington away jersey. I admit I'm with you. I love the script,
It was
but
red. It was red script with a blue outline. It's just a classic baseball script
yeah,
on a
yeah.
gray uniform. It was perfect. They didn't need
But
to fuck with it.
but I like the idea that they're essentially they're trying to pull off a Yankees here with the road block lettering, and
Yeah,
then you keep the home, the Yankees have the NY obviously
sure.
on their home jersey, but then they'll have the Nationals in the script font still for when they're at home, and not wearing this V-neck jersey. But so I'm not I don't hate it. I don't
Actually,
hate it enough to split my middle fingers on this one because I so love the V-neck jersey.
okay. Wow, you're giving it two middle fingers up.
I'm going two middle fingers up after I've been given four middle fingers down.
That's impressive for you. I am gonna buck tradition. I'm gonna go one middle finger down, one middle finger up because I again I don't like the block lettering on the road. Honestly, I don't like the look of the pullover. The pullover, it bothers me, the blue sleeves and the white. I don't know what it is about. I don't think it looks that great. I don't think that capital silhouette is that great with the W. Something about the
Mm,
W being too
I
plain.
like it.
I actually really like the interlocking DC and the shape of this of the district behind it. That could have been a really cool primary logo on the chest. So that's why my vote is split. I don't like their execution of the pullover V-neck, but I like the idea that the pullover V-neck is coming back. That they're trying to help resurrect that with your White Soxes also. So that's why I have mixed feelings, mixed middle fingers over it. But this was actually this became a more interesting conversation than I thought it would be. So we have resurrected aesthetics. We might have an aesthetics next episode talking about the White Sox uniform documentary.
Word Hole Media.